Hey, folks, good morning and welcome to another episode of Steelers Morning Rush. I'm Alan Saunders. It is Monday, November 25th. The Pittsburgh Steelers are off today. Surprisingly, decided to take the day off instead of having a bonus practice. So it worked from home day for myself here at Steelers Now headquarters. And we'll be back at it with a Mike Tomlin press conference on Tuesday. Of course, still lots coming here on the YouTube channel. Me and Smitty back for another episode of Steelers Afternoon Drive just after 6 p.m. Like, subscribe, hit that bell for notifications so you don't miss anything. I want to talk today about the Steelers' red zone offense, which we can all agree is bad. The Steelers entering, before Monday Night Football anyway, sit 30th in the NFL, scoring a touchdown 44.7% of the time they enter the red zone. That's not good. But and we've talked a lot about why it's not good and what they need to make it good and why they need to use Justin Fields in the red zone and not on 3rd and 4 in their own territory, and how they can be better. But I think we may have overstated how big of a problem the Steelers' red zone offense is, or at least how much it is holding them back. Okay, so right now, the Steelers' offense, just in terms of their offensive ability, their per game points, the Steelers are 14th in the league at 22.9 points per game. I have thought for a long time the Steelers belonged somewhere in that 10 to 15 range on offense. I just feel like that's what they have the personnel to be. This is not an offense with overwhelming talent at almost any position. And so, like 10 to 15 seems like a pretty good version of this Steelers offense. But, of course, 30th in the red zone. So how much better would they be if they were just average in the red zone? Well, we can figure that out. And the answer is not that much better. So the Steelers scored touchdown 44.7% of the time. Now, they have a really good kicker, and they haven't missed a single field goal from the red zone, and they've only turned it over down there twice. So they're converting their non-touchdown rates higher than most. But let's just say the Kansas City Chiefs, by the way, probably the most talented offense in the league, are tied for the Philadelphia Eagles, who have the world's best 1-yard play. It's just interesting that they're the middle of the road. They're tied for 15th at 55.8% touchdown in the red zone. So if the Steelers were just average in the red zone, if they went from where they are, 44.7, to where the Chiefs are, 55.8, they would score touchdowns 11% of the time more often than they are right now. So what does that 11% increase in touchdowns look like? Well, the Steelers, only go into the red zone 3.5 times per game. Their red zone trips, that's above average. That's right in that 10 to 15 range. Tied for 11th with Houston and Minnesota, 3.5 red zone trips per game. All right. So, but if you're adding 4 points 11% of the time to those 3.5 trips per game, that's not a whole lot of points. That's 1.55 extra points per game if the Steelers had an average red zone offense, which would take them from having the 14th best offense at 22.9 points per game to having the 11th best offense at 24.4 points per game. Or maybe if you round up, they might be tied with the Chiefs at 10. Either way, the red zone is not holding the Steelers back from having an elite offense. It is just keeping them towards the middle instead of the upper middle class. And this is borne out when you look at the yardage, right? An offense that was really just rolling along, but was being held down by bad red zone offense would have a ton of yards, but not very many points, right? The Steelers are 14th in points, but they're 18th in yards. So they're actually scoring at a higher level than their yardage on offense suggests they ought to. And it's not because the defense just sets them up in all this otherworldly field position. They're 50, they're 5 yards per play. They're tied for 23rd. So, like, when they don't get good field position, they're doing even worse, right? So the Steelers offense is doing a fair job of capitalizing on the opportunities that it is getting. I understand that they are not necessarily scoring a lot of touchdowns from the red zone, but in general, This is not some offense that is dominant between the 20s and then just going to struggle when it gets over the line. It's an average offense that has strengths and weaknesses. One of those weaknesses happens to be scoring touchdowns from the red zone, but it does not have some overwhelming strength that is holding back either. It is just an average offense. And I think that's what we always expected it would be. You look at the talent around this offense, and it just does not stack up with other teams. You look at Kansas City, for example. I mean, they don't have a Patrick Mahomes. They don't have a Travis Kelce. Their offensive line doesn't have a Creed Humphrey. Maybe it will someday. Zach Frazier looks like he's going to be pretty good. Had a tough game last week. But, they don't have the same level of players as other teams. And so I just think, look, the Steelers need to be better in the red zone. They do. And I think they probably have a good chance to figure the things out with Justin Fields and eventually get there. I think they can be better than they've been. But better than only to a level. Like, I don't expect them to be above average in the red zone. I don't expect them to be better than Kansas City in the red zone. I don't expect, and so I don't expect that to have some massive impact. It's not going to change the paradigm for the team, which is a potentially elite offense and a potentially elite defense that is dragging an average offense to success. Like, that is the way forward for the Steelers. And I don't think, no matter how much they improve their red zone offense, it's really going to change that. This is just not going to be an elite offense. It does not have the talent to do that. It does have the talent to be an elite defense. So, I mean, I think that's where things stand right now. Steelers are third in the league in defensive scoring, 16.9 points per game. They've got a tough test this week. The Cincinnati Bengals are getting better, but I still like where the Steelers defense is on the whole and feel pretty good about that unit. So I got for today. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Until next time, like, subscribe, hit that bell for notifications here on the YouTube channel. Give us a 5-star review and subscribe if you're listening on a different audio platform, whether that's Spotify or Apple Podcasts or Google Play or wherever. And make sure you go over SteelersNow.com and read the words so I can get paid. Sign up for SN Plus using promo code Allen10. You get 10% off an annual subscription. Works out to be about $4 a month when you do it that way. It's extremely cheap, and it not only gets you the best stuff from me, DB, Aaron, and the rest of the Steelers Now crew, but it gives you an ad-free viewing experience over there on SteelersNow.com. And look, we are not an ad light establishment. All right. So you're ditching a whole bunch of them. Go check it out. And then, of course, back here on the YouTube channel, me and Smitty, 6:00, Steelers Afternoon Drive. Be ready for it. And we'll get moving on Monday. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. And until next time, enjoy.